It's not been the ideal start to the season for Liverpool, as a squad plagued with injuries has seen the Reds kick off their campaign with 2 draws and a defeat. There are calls from the fans for Liverpool to make a signing in the midfield area to cover for these injuries, but Jurgen Klopp has stressed that a signing is unlikely, as it is not up to him to decide where the funds are allocated. In this video, we're going to take a look at just how Liverpool's squad is looking due to these absences, and when we should expect to see the players making a return. Darwin Núñez got a straight red card for his headbutt on Joachim Andersen and received a 3-match ban due to violent conduct, and he'll miss the ties against Manchester United, Bournemouth and Newcastle, and we should expect to see him back in action for the Goodison Merseyside derby on the 3rd of September. Tiago Alcantara was taken off with a hamstring problem in Liverpool's season opener at Craven Cottage against Fulham. It has been reported that the Spanish international will be out for 6 weeks, but Jurgen Klopp suggested in his Crystal Palace press conference that these reports were merely speculation. With a hamstring problem though, it is difficult to see that estimate being too wide of the mark. Graham Kelleher hasn't been involved for Liverpool yet this season, after according to Jurgen Klopp he picked up an injury whilst away on international duty with Ireland. The injury has not been diagnosed, so return date is as of yet unknown, but there remains disputes over where exactly the injury was picked up, with the Ireland boss claiming that he was surprised by Klopp's comments and that he was unaware of an injury to the goalkeeper under his watch. Diogo Jota had a recurrence of a hamstring injury whilst away on the pre-season tour in Asia, and the Portuguese man has been out for around 6 weeks already and hasn't been spotted in first team training, so a return date for the forward is still unknown. But with Liverpool becoming thin on attacking options over recent weeks, we could do with seeing him at the AXA training centre sooner rather than later. Naby Keita was said to be returning from injury for Liverpool's clash with Manchester United at Old Trafford on Monday, but failed to make the bench once again. The midfielder hasn't played a minute of football since the opening fixture against Fulham and has been sidelined with an illness. Following the Manchester United defeat, manager Jurgen Klopp confirmed that Keita was subject to another injury, but we're still awaiting further assessment to determine the seriousness of it. Curtis Jones hasn't featured yet for Liverpool this season and was pictured in a protective boot when the Reds faced Strasbourg at Anfield in pre-season, the day after Liverpool beat Manchester City to clinch the FA Community Shield at Leicester City's King Power Stadium. At the time, The Athletic reported that it was a calf injury that could see the Scousers out for 2 to 4 weeks, and with us now being 3 weeks into that time frame, we should expect to see Jones back in and around the team in the weeks to come. Oxlade-Chamberlain suffered a serious hamstring injury during Liverpool's pre-season tour of Asia, and Jurgen Klopp was quoted at the time as saying the injury was serious and could potentially put Ox out for a long time. Konate pulled up injured in Liverpool's final pre-season game against Strasbourg, with what turned out to be a serious enough knee issue to seemingly keep him out for all of August and into the start of September, before Reds fans can hopefully see him eased back into the fold. Finally, one of the more recently established issues in the squad, and part of the reason Jurgen Klopp claimed there was a witch at the training ground, Joel Matip suffered a groin injury during training. He missed Monday's draw with Palace, as well as the loss at Old Trafford last night, and Klopp has said it will be 2 weeks before the 31-year-old centre-back can return.